10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Whack Whack Attack. Today is March 9th, and we've got a whole bunch of updates for you. We're going to start with this one from the Euler team. It says, big announcement, RETH by Rocket Pool is now a collateral asset on Euler Finance. Let's dive in on how you can trade RETH on Euler. So one of the things that was stopping Euler from going through was that it needed a chainlink oracle, right? So there's this screenshot here that says market RETH collateral, and then it says info from contracts and chainlink oracle. So that definitely piqued the interest of a whole bunch of people in the community, because like we thought the chainlink oracle wasn't here yet. But let's dig into it and find out what's going on. So Seraphim goes on to give more information. He says, first of all, Rocket Pool is the most decentralized LSD in DeFi and boasts substantial on-chain liquidity. More in the analysis below on why that matters. And then that's from January 26th when they talked about Rocket Pool in the past. It says the three things traders can do with Rocket Pool are ETH on Euler Finance. You can deposit and mint. I guess their stable coin after depositing it. You can go leveraged long on RETH, which is very interesting, and you can short it. So let's have a look what that means. It says depositing is straightforward. Minting is done to mine native rewards. Check out this user's actions around WSTETH. RETH Minter would do the same. And then there's an account there that we can have a look at, and let's see what it shows. I should have opened this beforehand. So I'm not sure what well, let's wait for it to load up. Okay, so there's 10 million collateral and 9.5 million is the risk adjusted collateral, and then there's information about like the borrowing cost and all that kind of stuff. So I don't fully understand their framework, but you can have a look at that over there. And then I guess they got income of $48,000, which is nice. The next thing is what I'm very, very interested about, and it says you can long RETH. That's what it's all about. So this is the main thing that people will be using Euler Finance for. It says with a collateral factor of 0.8, it allows user to borrow ETH at a 0.728 LTV. That's about a 3.76 max multiplier. So on Rocket Fuel before, I've talked about folding, right? Is when you have RETH, you deposit it, get ETH, you take that ETH to buy more RETH, and you do it over and over again. Well, with this, I think they're saying that is you can do that 3.67 times. I'm not sure how safe that is to do that or not. You'll have to take that into consideration yourself. However, it's fascinating that you could potentially do that to get a reward of nearly 20% returns on your ETH. A little bit less than that, like maybe somewhere around that 20% returns on your ETH, which is absolutely like amazing. And then this is finally shorting RETH. Euler Finance allows users to lend and borrow LSDs without restrictions, which makes it a great marketplace to trade around the Shanghai event. Overall, Euler Finance DAO is very excited to welcome the Rocket Pool Yield fam. The Rocket Pool RETH fam, hopefully listing of RETH as collateral leads to more activity, yield, and decentralization of DeFi. So people are like already getting like a really positive information there. People already picking up on the chainlink oracle tidbit that was in their information. And Jasper says this is going to be huge for RETH holders, which I totally agree with. I think once the deposit pool is empty because of people spinning up LEB8s on Atlas, things like Euler Finance are going to see a huge increase in their TVL because of the fact that people will be able to mint RETH at cost price in the deposit pool. So they'll just do that 3 or 4 times, or 3 times, I guess, whatever it is, and good things will happen. If I'm not explaining the concept properly because of a misunderstanding I have, please correct me and I will put the correction in tomorrow's show. But that is something extremely exciting. Okay, so the chainlink thing was kind of hinted at with the Euler news, and then Hippocrates found this Etherscan. He says we got chainlink. So it seems like the oracle for chainlink is up and live. As you can see over here, it went live 12 days ago. There's a contract that was created, and like it's been doing stuff over the last few days. Hippocrates says this is mainnet chainlink oracle. It tracks the price of ETH, not the protocol peg price, and is already being used by Euler Finance. So that is really exciting. People kind of got into a discussion about whether it went live 12 days ago. Hippocrates says maybe nobody noticed and it's not announced. I did because ETH is collection of Euler, and that requires chainlink, and the ETH page mentions chainlink oracle. Or am I missing something? So I said we knew it was coming, and Euler got ahead of it earlier, but there was nothing official. And then Mav popped in. And then Hippocrates shared different links. So there's data for chainlink on Arbitrum, and then also on mainnet. So yeah, it's really cool. Mav came along. He says I have a call with chainlink at 7 a.m. tomorrow. So maybe that's where the two teams will work on announcing something official. But it seems like Euler let it out of the bag. So yeah, this is really great news. It's absolutely fantastic because chainlink is needed for getting all these price oracles set up for these DeFi protocols, and I think this is going to be a first step towards a huge expansion of ETH adoption going into Shanghai and post Shanghai, which is I'm so excited about that. Okay, moving on. There was this discussion happening in the DAO forum a few months ago about voting changes in line with snapshot voting changes after the PETH, NETH, max LEB collateral discussions that were had, and the idea was to switch it to linear voting power to resist attackers. Valdorf came back to that post and gave some more details about what he found. He says I took a little dive into data. I grabbed all current nodes, calculated their relative vote power under a few systems, and the main plot shows cumulative vote power as we include the top X voters. We essentially know from early signaling that we like the values captured by the square root of effective RPL vote power. So here there's a graph, and then it says we see here we see a few of the options talked about earlier. Linear is totally robust to Sybil attacks, but doesn't capture the desired ethos as much. Now we take a peek at what it looks like under a Sybil attack, and then it says linear square root to the power 0.8 are brought over as references. Then we look at 3 levels of Sybil attacking. 1 node per mini pool is green, 1 node per 50 mini pools is red, and 1 node per 10 mini pools is purple. In my opinion, red is very realistic, green isn't, and purple is probably not. My take here is that despite a known Sybil vector, we're probably still better off using quadratic. Yes, this allows particular individuals to increase their vote, especially bad whales versus good whales, but it's still closer to the desired ethos on the whole. Bad whales as a function of total vote percentage. And then Wacker gives the information saying Waldorf's analysis of different ways to count voting power and how the distribution changes if it's Sybil attacked. I find the second graph more interesting. It shows that even if whales create a node for every 10 mini pools, the top 10 entities by voting power still get less than 30% of the votes. And there is further analysis on the cost to create those nodes and increase gas and maintenance costs. Conclusion: square root of staked RPL is pretty Sybil resistant. So that's a nice addition. I think this discussion is going to continue, but I guess finding that the square root of RPL is works well, I think is kind of in line with status at the moment. But of course, then half that, so I think that step is not necessary. But oh well. Moving on, we have this Gitcoin proposal 002. And this is Rocket Pool oDAO participation. So it says Gitcoin was recently invited to participate in Rocket Pool's oDAO. To do so, we need to post a bond of 1750 RPL, which we have from an airdrop from the Rocket Pool community in our matching pool, and ensure we have a validator running to perform oDAO duty required tasks. The Rocket Pool oDAO invitation passed their governance vote, and as a result of completing our oDAO responsibilities, we will earn rewards that will go back to the matching pool. I'm asking for permission to use 1750 RPL to post a bond for our participation, set up a validator with 16 ETH, also from the matching pool, and foster a relationship with Rocket Pool where we support the decentralization of Ethereum. The full details can be found on the governance forums listed below, where I guess they were having a discussion. So if you have a look, their vote so far has been 99.99% in favor of joining the oDAO and Rocket Pool, and one person voted to not, and one person voted to join but not run a validator, which I don't think would work. Excuse me. So sorry. Yeah, so this is looks like it's going to happen from their side, and our side is all gone through already. So I guess this is an informal welcome to Gitcoin to the oDAO. Yeah, it's happened quite well, and I'm happy that this has gone through. However, there was one point of issue that the community was talking about this comment here, where they say which we have from an airdrop from the Rocket Pool community in our matching pool. So Noshua, and I think maybe others, but definitely Noshua, did some digging around and found that this was Gitcoin's node address, which is rocketpool.kys.eth, which has all the information there. And then it looks like they actually got 1595 RPL from the team's wallet. About wait, is that right? Just give me a second. Let me see if I have the right information. Yeah, here's the right information. So it seems like they got RPL from the team to their multisig around a year ago, just under a year ago. So I'm not sure what the deal of that transfer was or not. All we have, as we can see, is that this deposit from the team's wallet into the Gitcoin multisig, and then that went out 51 days ago to go to their wallet right here, and then that's what they will be using as their bond. So yeah, that's the information that we have from that. Okay, next we have this news of 1KX allegedly staking more RPL and spinning up more mini pools. 1KX, this is their node number 1, and then they also have a node number 2 that they're also staking on right now. As we can see from Rocket Scan, they are running 120 mini pools on each one right now. Their RPL stake is at around they've got it set up to be 150%. They're currently at 118%, which means that they're going to probably, here's a bunch of mini pools that are pre-launch. So once these mini pools go online, then they will be back at 150% effectiveness. So 120 mini pools in number 1, and then 120 mini pools in number 2 as well. So they're spinning up more mini pools. They're becoming a really big operator, and they're keeping their RPL collateral at 150% as well, which of course makes total sense. But it's really cool that we can all see this in the open about how they are how they're spinning up mini pools and how they are staking more RPL. So that's nice. Okay, next we have this article by the Defiant with the tweet. It says Rocket Pool is a liquid staking protocol that's one of the 20 largest projects in DeFi. It will release long-awaited Atlas upgrade no later than early April. Well, that information seems it might be later than April, but hopefully not. Atlas will allow Rocket Pool node operators to run their own Ethereum validators with only 8 ETH. And then there's a full story, so let's go have a look at what it says. Atlas upgrade slated for early April will have minimum staking requirement. So there's information here. The Ethereum Foundation encourages users to run a node and in turn become Ethereum next month, it could become much easier to do just that. Of course, you can run a node without being a validator with 0 ETH if you just run the software. But to become a validating node, then Rocket Pool will make that a lot easier. And it says Rocket Pool Liquid Staking Protocol, that's one of the 20 largest projects in decentralized finance, will release longer-awaited Atlas upgrade node later than early April. Founder and Chief Technology Officer Dave said in the recent blog post. Well, I think that early April day is like, I think they're putting a bit too much emphasis on that. Of course, the team wants Atlas to be out before Shanghai. Shanghai is looking like the first or second week of April, so I would put it as maybe a week before Shanghai if everything goes well. So then this article gives more information about Shanghai. This is auditors have finished reviewing Atlas's code according to Dave. The upgrade is now slated to go live at the end of March or early April, just before the Ethereum upgrade that would allow for the withdrawal of staked ETH. Rocket Pool and other liquid staking protocols like Lido have seen a surge in interest this year as anticipation mounts for Ethereum upgrade codenamed Shanghai. So then they talk about the price of RPL and how it's doubled since January 1st. And it's countdown to Atlas, just showing that the price has fallen recently amid a broader market correction. And it says that Lido has actually fallen more in that time. So that's a really nice article that you can get some info about Atlas from there and have a look at it. So thanks to Dave for providing comments. Okay, next we have this discussion that started about attracting solo stakers to Rocket Pool, right? So it kind of links into the discussion we were having yesterday about how to attract solo stakers to Rocket Pool, and this idea of like kind of a narrative, right, where they bring their 32 ETH. What they do is they swap 24 of that into 3 LEB8s, and then with the other 8 ETH that's left over, they can buy RPL and they can decentralize a whole lot more ETH overall on the Beacon chain compared to what they were doing themselves. They'd be able to decentralize 96 ETH instead of 32 ETH, so it's 3 times more effective of them just staking as their own. So Stephen here, Esthoma, had this idea. He says, could we have a process where solo stakers are awarded RPL for free when they transition to RP, but their rewards get funneled off over time until that debt of the provisional RPL is paid off, basically a loan from the protocol? So this started a whole discussion about how we can attract solo stakers, and how it might be that we can have some kind of incentive for them, or some kind of proposition where they could not have to buy RPL directly. And then Destroy says the marketing we did at Ethan was very important. The best kind of marketing, face-to-face conversations on the show of a strong community. We need more of that. Mr. Khan says, I love this idea. I don't like giving them free RPL because where is my free RPL? And I said, if it's 10% rewards, then it would take them 10 years to pay back that RPL, which might not work. Yeah, so this is a whole different discussion, and then Steven says it would actually mean funneling off all rewards. Still, that would take 3 or 4 years, I think. So it would take a long time, for them to be able to repay back their RPL bond that they got. But then a whole lot of people started in this discussion. They were talking about what would work, what wouldn't work. Steven says Waldorf coming in hot to tell us why it's a bad idea, and I said not sure. And Waldorf says it's just slow, not bad. And I said, Steven said, can the Rocket Pool protocol take out an insurance policy on the debt? Oh, no, that's because of them being sick. So as Steve says, I heard Langer say they've thought about leasing RPL to node operators because the team has like 1 million RPL that is in their vault, so they could potentially do something along those lines. I have no idea how it'll work, what the logistics of that would be. And then people were talking about how NodeSet will kind of let people do that as well, because they'll just deposit their ETH into NodeSet and they won't have to bring any RPL. So there's different ideas going on. But this discussion was actually a really good one. It's just a really long discussion and I don't have all the links ready, so I can't show you the best ideas. But definitely check out the comments from Stephen, from Waldorf, and other people who got involved in this discussion as well. The link, of course, will be in the description, so you can go back and read those points. But I really like that, Sneaky Ninja guy shared this link with me because some of the community discussions are absolutely fascinating, and I feel like that's one of the things that we've been missing out on in Rocket Fuel recently. But definitely I want to bring more of that back into the episodes. So thank you, Sneaky, as well, for sharing this link for submission. So yeah, that was really good. Okay, next we had Justin Drake, who came into trading today, and he said the ultrasound relay is now selectable for Allnodes free tier without paying for enterprise tier. So this is absolutely amazing, because Allnodes, as you all know, like has a big chunk of Rocket Pool stakers running their nodes there, and they do an amazing job of it. You know, there's got about 20% of Rocket Pool share supposedly is with Allnodes, which is higher than I want, but hey, it opens up staking for people who aren't able to do it themselves just yet. So I think, you know, it's a necessary evil. It used to be that they only had Flashbots as a free relay, and if you want to use any other relays, then you had to upgrade to the enterprise tier, which is twice as expensive as the free tier. However, thankfully, it seems like they've now added ultrasound money relay as well, and that has meant that they now have a non-censoring relay available for free that node operators can choose on their Allnode system. So that is really fantastic. I'm really happy that what could have been, you know, censoring force is now not so. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, like, for myself, I have all nodes available turned on, and I make sure that you know, whatever gives me the best bid will get my block, right? Whereas that wasn't the case with Allnodes. It would be that you could only turn on Flashbots, which is of course a censoring relay. So now that people have a choice, they can add ultrasound money for free. Hopefully that might make Rocket Pool's block production a tiny bit more censorship resistant, which of course is wonderful. Okay, so yesterday something really fun happened. The RPL Benefactor popped into trading, saying, I met people in Denver, I sent them POAPs, check your wallet. So people replied by saying, what's going on here? So Patches says, oh shit, I got one. I says, I got one too. And then there's a link to POAP gallery where you can see the POAP that was sent out. It says you've met the RPL Benefactor, but didn't even realize it. So I think 37 people have gotten this POAP, and it seems like it's all with ENS names. So it might be that the benefactor didn't have addresses directly, but there's a whole lot of people that we all know, right? There's Woe, Object, Schifrin, Kent, me, Fizz, Ken, DMC, D McCartney, Kenny, Kevster, Finbob, Sleety. These are all like really well established members of the Rocket Pool community. So it seems like the benefactor met a whole lot of people, and they all got a pop about meeting the benefactor but not even knowing about it. So then the community was kind of like, here Ludi was joking, did you shake your own hand? So yeah, this is me shaking the benefactor's hand right here. So yeah, there were some fun discussions about who the benefactor might be while we were in Denver, but you know, Kevster replied by saying, whoa, and they said, how come I don't have it? And they said, oh lol, I do have it. And then yeah, so people were getting the POAP, they were talking about it. People started to wonder who the benefactor might be, but then Sneaky here said, are you kidding me? Is this the real life? And he says, I doubt Benny made the POAP herself to ensure no paper trail. And Kevster says, I know who made that POAP. Sneaky says, I didn't have a chance to meet Fizz at Denver, so I guess that rules out Fizz. And then this is the point that I wanted to finish on. It says, also, Benny has asked many times that we don't guess who they are. So, and then it says zip mouth emoji. So, yeah, I just think that's a really fun little thing that people were kind of sent this POAP saying that you met the benefactor but didn't even realize it. I just think it's great. So I've got that POAP too. I love that POAP. It's great. It's really funny. So that's nice. Okay, next we have something a little bit political. And if you just give me one moment, let me just get my notes set up for this before we talk about it. But yeah, okay, so there was a tweet here by Jerry Brito, says thank you to representatives, and then there's a whole bunch of people and co-sponsors for reintroducing this important bill to fix the terrible crypto tax provisions in 2021's Infrastructure Act. So let's have a look at the bill. So excuse me. So it's the Financial Services House website, their subcommittee. And here there's a provision of the bill. It says the Chinese government's recent ban of cryptocurrency transactions provides the United States an opening to further enhance its role as the leading nation in the development of innovative blockchain technologies. Providing clear rules for both consumers and developers of digital assets is essential for taking advantage of this opportunity. And on page 7, this is where the key information is. It says miners and validators, hardware and software developers, and protocol developers are not actual brokers and do not collect or have reason to collect the information required under the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. It is not in the interest of American taxpayers for Congress to create uncertainty. A consistent and accurate reporting on digital asset transactions is necessary. Congress must work to bring legal and regulatory certainty to the digital assets industry. Clear rules of the road fosters technology and innovation. Any amendments made to this act will not impact revenue estimated from the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. So this is like a clarification bill that will change those provisions of the Infrastructure Act. So I think this is important legislature. Like, I have no idea if it'll pass the House, because it seems like it's brought. I don't know if it's just brought by Republicans or if it's a joint bill, but I don't know if it'll pass the Senate, and I don't know if Joe Biden will sign it. So there's a long way to go before this bill becomes law, but it's definitely heartening to see that there are some politicians who understand the importance of cryptocurrency, especially as it might impact the United States' position in the world going forward. So yeah. Okay, next, something fun happened yesterday, which was that 50,000 ETH has been burned since the merge happened. So we are now even more than that, like more than 50,000 ETH has been burned since the merge. In total, I think we have over 2 million ETH, or maybe even 3 million ETH since 1559 went live. That has been burned, but this is fantastic. You know, every day we're getting more and more ETH burned, and this is in the bear market where you wouldn't expect that to be happening necessarily, but yeah, we are now under 50,000. Well, now have 50,000 less than the peak amount of ETH that was in the days following the merge. I think it might be a while before we hit those numbers again, because every day we inflate by 1,500 ETH. So as long as more than 1,500 ETH is being burned every day, which is like an average gas price of 16.5 GUE, then we'll stay deflationary, right? So we'll need a whole lot of days of under 16 GUE gas for it to be inflationary again. And I think that, I don't know when that's going to happen. There's an idea that it might happen with like roll-ups and almost all transactions going onto layer 2s and then they're being cheaper and not using as much gas, but that's all theoretical right now. But this is really wonderful. So yeah. Okay, here we got some pictures from Finbob, who says they're photos of the Rocket Pool house and mountain retreat that do not show any people who are non-doxed. So we can have a look here. So this is the house that we were staying at. Right here at the front on the floor is where I slept because I had an air mattress on the floor of the living room kitchen. That was fun. This is the mountain retreat, the lodge. It looks absolutely beautiful. Like, I'm jealous that I'm not there. It looks like they've got a wood burning fireplace, and here we get some of the slopes and the different hills that people are skiing on. I don't know about the quality of the skiing. I've never actually skied in my life, so I can't really tell you much about that, but it looks amazing. Here is Wo, who is testing on his phone in the mountains of Denver, which is absolutely amazing. It's really cool. And then there's just some more mountain pictures of the ski retreat right now. I think that person's snowboarding and some ski lifts. And this is the Rocket Pool house in the mountains. which looks really lovely. And I think that's someone enjoying a hot tub while looking out at the snow. that looks like fun. And that room looks much better than the kitchen floor that I slept on, so I'm kind of jealous about that. But it looks like people are having a wonderful time. Oh, there's a home theater too. So yeah, that looks like a much nicer stay than the one that we had in Denver. But I hope everyone's enjoying that. Good stuff. Okay, next we have this news from Dybsy, who is talking about his wedding, and there's a registration paper who says, are you registered? We have much of what newlyweds need. If you would like to support us, we ask that you contribute to our honeymoon. Our email address is, then there's an email address, and our Ethereum address is wedding.dybsy.eth. So Dybsy is setting up a subdomain of his ENS to accept donations for his wedding prize, which is wedding fund. So that is really cool that people can do that in this day and age. So good job. If you feel comfortable donating to that, then you can find the .eth address in the description. And finally, I got this message from Spaceman Daddy saying that his daughter, who's a teeny tiny little baby, let me just move my face out of the way so you can see, his daughter is watching Rocket Fuel. So she's getting started with Rocket Pool really early, and I'm really happy to see that. So thank you for sharing that picture of the tiny little baby watching Rocket Fuel. Hi Francesca, if you're watching, I hope you're being good for your daddy. On that nice little note, I'm going to end today's episode, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.